Greetings, this is m squared, and we are going to find the slope of a line where they've given us 2 points on that line. And when we do that, we use our slope formula. Remember, our slope formula is y minus y over x minus x. These subscripts, these 2's and these 1's, mean which point. So this would be one point, the x and the y, and this would be the other point. One of the most common mistakes I see kids make is that they take the y from one point and then maybe the x from the other point, and you're going to get the wrong answer when you do that. So to avoid that, this is what I tell kids to do when they're first starting out and they haven't got a good grasp on it yet, is I have them write the first point right underneath the second point. And then you just subtract down. That's easy. The other common mistake I see kids make is that if there's a negative here, they ignore it because there's minus signs in the formula. So to prevent that, I always tell kids to write your fraction bar and the 2 minus signs first. And then you simply take this y and you write them down. And then you take this x and this x. So you always start at the top. Top point is your first, or your first two. Your first in both the top and the bottom, and then your other two. And then it's just subtracting. So negative 6 minus a negative 4. Remember, whenever we minus a negative, changes it to a positive. So negative 6 plus 4, is negative 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. Negative 2 divided by 1 is negative 2. So if you're just asked to find the slope, it's negative 2. But if you were asked to use it to graph a line, I like to keep it like this because it tells me 2 down, 1 right. So, don't know what you're doing with these, but that's another option there. Okay, let's try it again. So first I have them write like this, then I have them write their formula. And then I say 5, negative 3, and negative 4 and 2. And again, we've got 2 negatives that make a positive. So 5 plus 3 is 8. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. So we need to reduce that. And when we reduce that, it reduces, 2 goes into both of those evenly. So we have 4/3. Notice the 6 was negative. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. Most of the time we would write the negative out here. Now if you were graphing, you could either choose to put it up in the top to tell you to go down, or put it in the bottom to tell you to go left. This is the same as this, which is the same as this. But there's only one negative, so you can write it any of these ways. It does not matter, but there's only one. There's not 2 negatives. Sometimes people will do that too. Okay. Now the other mistake that I see kids make is they sometimes put the x's in the top of the formula. And you just have to remember that. I'm not sure of a great way to remind kids that, because they always want to put the x's first in the points. They always want to put it in the formula first, but it's not. It's y's in the top, so make sure you're putting your y's in the top first. So 5 and negative 3, negative 1 and negative 1. So 5 minus a negative 3 is 8, and 2 negatives make a positive. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Well, anytime you divide by 0, your slope is undefined. That's what your slope is. Now, I always tell kids to look at the points first, and I didn't stop on purpose, but if you see where the x's are the same, you really don't need to go through this process. If you're observant first, if the x's are the same, it's undefined. If the y's were the same, for example, if I had 1, 3 and negative 5, 3, and I see the y's the same, I automatically know the slope is 0. So if you're observant and you see that either the x's or the y's, the y coordinates are exactly the same, you'd save yourself a little bit of time. So it's an option. Good luck. Watch those mistakes. A lot of people make them. M squared signing out.